Alright, so this is going to be some quick list for IDIC beer. Unfortunately, I have not really been keeping up on the Warhammer 40k scene, and I didn't know anything about your 500 point list until you mentioned something on the battle report. So I just want to quick give a rundown of basically what you have from looking at the sprues and what you showed so far in the videos. And technically, if you just throw in a Viper, another jet bike from your Eldar list, you'd have a complete 3 bike for fast attack. Anyways, currently right now you're at base value with what you've shown, which is all of this here on this little table, is 1,000 points. I mean, base value it's 900 points. This is 900 points that you have, that you shared on YouTube. That's including the 3 Vipers. From the sprue, it looked like you had 21 witches, and you have 30 warriors. You got yourself 1 archon, and then you got, basically you'll have your 3 bikes, and then the 2 rat ogrins, which I have represented as Cloud Fiends here. So, and actually the Cloud Fiends are cheaper than the grotesques. So, anyways, so yeah, you're at 900 points already for your 500 point list army. So what I'm going to try to do is I'll break down what you have right now as what I would think as viable 500 point lists, and we'll go on from there. Alright, so here's a quick 500 point list for you. It's Unbound. You'd have to pick one of the models as a warlord as far as for a warlord killed. But what it'll give you is, if you borrow another jet bike from your Eldar, you'll have 3 fast attacks. Single Cloud Fiend, so that's 1 unit. The Cloud Fiend would make 1 unit. Jet bike's another unit. Cloud Fiend is your 3rd fast attack. And then for your troops, you'd have a Venom with 5 witches, and the witches would have an upgrade with a haywire grenade, and you have a sharded net and impaler. So basically, I'm going to put the camera. So basically, yeah, so you'll have yourself 5 witches per vehicle. Each will have an upgrade, and the upgrade will have a haywire grenade, and that is it. The Venoms will have just 1 splinter cannon and 1 twin link splinter rifle, and everything else is pretty much just plain Jane. So, but that's 500 points, and it's an all witch list. So I will organize things around and show you another list. Alright, so here is another 500 point list based on the models that you have. And this list is a Boundless, and it's a standard CAD detachment. So you'll have here in the center is a Archon with a blaster. Comes with his own Venom, and the rest of the stuff is 2 more Venoms with 5-man warriors with a blaster and a sergeant upgrade with a haywire grenade. Same here, so you got your 2 standard troops, and then you have 1 fast attack with a heat lance. So this is your Reavers, and then you can have 1, since the center one's different from the other 2, I usually say that one's like the heat lance, the different one. So yeah, pretty simple list here, and it's comes just shy of 15 points. So you could put in a clustered catropes on the Reavers, or you could spend 15 points for the Archon. But there's really not much in the war gear left for 15 points that will benefit anything else. So, but yeah, that's another 500 point list using the items that you have. So we'll work on our list here. Alright, so here is a third list option, and this is a standard CAD Combined Arms Detachment. What you'll have is you'll have 4 troops and 1 HQ. HQ is of course Archon with the blaster, comes in its own Venom, and then you have 2 units of witches, which are just stock witches, no upgrades, no weapon upgrades. No right in the Venoms as well. All 3 Venoms are stock, no upgrades. And then you'll also have 2 units of 10 warriors, and they are stock as well, no upgrades. But that gives you, essentially it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 troops on the table because of the Combined Arms Detachment, the 2 Venoms that are dedicated transports for the witches makes them troops as well. So the vehicles actually have object secure, except for the Archons. Alright, really this list here is pretty much your anti-infantry list. There's really not going to be much in here to help against armor. Alright, so here's the next list. I've roughly made these 4 now within, I don't know, less than an hour? 30 minutes, says someone next to me. But yeah, so here's the 4th list, and this is pretty much a Footslogging list. You'll have, it's still a standard Combined Arms Detachment. You have 3 units of warriors, so you got yourself 3 troop choices, and then you have the Archon in the back there with the blaster and a Venom. And the Venom does have a splinter cannon upgrade, so it will have 2 splinter cannons. The warriors here, they each, all 3 units, they have an upgrade. The upgrade has a haywire grenade, the upgrade being the sergeant. I just call them upgrades. And each of the warrior squads also have a dark lance, so a little bit of anti-armor for your list. So you have 3 dark lances, 3 haywire grenades, 3 sergeants, and the rest are all warriors. And then you got the 1 Venom. So that actually comes 15 points shy. You could put in, for those 15 points, you could put in 3 more shredders for each of the warriors. So yeah, for that would make you an even 500 points just with the 3 shredders in there. All right, so let's see if there's a 5th option. I'll see if I can make a, yeah, we'll see if there's a 5th option. More to come. Alright, so here is the next one. I calculated this so fast in the calculator that I even made my roommate's head spin how fast I figured it out. So, another standard CAD deployment. You'll have 3 troops. Each of the troops will be in Venoms. The Venoms are stock. The troops are 5-man, and there's a blaster in each of the 5-man. So I got my old school army, my old school model, so it might be hard to determine. I noticed that you had a couple of warriors that had pistols. For proxy purposes, you could just use the pistol wielding guys as the blasters. And then you have an Archon with the you're not even in the picture, dude. The rat Ogrins could be used as the Cloud Fiends again, and you can have them as 1 unit and have your Archon attached to it with a webway portal and a blaster. So basically these three here would be on the table, and then you can deep strike this with no deviation anywhere you want, and then so you could do a rear shot with that. Then he doesn't have any armor. None of the Archon builds so far has had any armor on them, but the benefit of having him or her, whatever you choose to go with, but the benefit of having the Archon with the two claw fiends or the rat ogrins is that it'll make the average toughness 5 instead of 3. So wounding would be a little bit harder, at least to wound him. So that's one thing that's kind of nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can just deep strike him anywhere you want, shoot somebody in the butt, and then hope you survive afterwards. But yeah, that's just that was like the lightning round for list making, was this one here for 500 points, and it comes exactly 500 points. And I don't think there can be any other options as far as for that. I'm going to show you some ideas as far as for what you can use in your current armies to use towards other list building. But basically what I just showed you for lists are what you have shown in the 3 videos. Alright, so I'm going to show you some options of proxies or mods you can do. So here is a quick proxy option. Since you've been collecting Elder long enough, you might have some of these laying around that you don't use, and these are the old model Banshees. I use these Banshees as my incubi, so if you have at least 3 of these, you could attach 3 of these Banshees proxied as incubi with your warlord. So that's an option. So next option for proxies are your Tyranids, and these 3 lovely Tyranids right now are painted by me. And but they're the Hormagaunts, which I always think is backwards, should be the other way. But anyway, so yeah, you got Hormagaunts here. These Hormagaunts could be used as your additional beasts, the Chimera, which are basically they're kind of like cats / dogs. I use for my proxies are, if I can get my camera out. So basically I've used for my chimeras, I've used Chaos Fleshhounds, I've used Vampire Count Direwolves, and should have an original old school, yeah. And then of course, and here's the original Chimera missing a leg. But this is old school. This is your first, second edition version of it. I don't have any of the new ones, just because when the 3rd edition codex came out, they didn't have any models, so I just bought a box full of direwolves and chaos hounds to use as proxies for it. But since you have a bunch of Hormagaunts, you could use the Hormagaunts as chimeras, and you can have up to 15 on a list, but their leadership isn't that great, so you want to have them with somebody. The other list I showed, these by themselves, again, they don't have that great leadership either, but since they're individual, it doesn't matter. When he dies, he dies. You won't have to worry about leadership tests because there's nothing there left to make a leadership test. Alright, so another proxy to come up. One moment. Alright, so another proxy or mod you can do is, since you mentioned you have your flayed ones, and to whether if you use them again or not in your Necron armies, but you can take these flayed ones unmodded and you can use them as racks. Now, racks are not just Dark Eldar, they're supposed to be like slaves that are also converted into what are known as racks. So you could use any kind of bits from any type of character, even from your lunar wolves. Sorry, not the lunar wolves, but you know, your wolves list. You could mismatch and put some bits together to make racks for that. Here's another flayed one converted to a rack. I went and did some putty, plumber's putty around it to make the skirt or kilt, and then I also added a termagant's gun, or maybe that might be a gargoyle's gun. That might be a gargoyle's gun. But anyways, I added the gargoyle's gun to this model, so that's the liquefier upgrade. And then ossifactor, I don't really have anything modded for an ossifactor because it wasn't a choice until the 4th edition. So those are some quick, simple proxies or mods you can make with what you already have available in your other armies. Alright, so I'm going to quick edit this together and get it online for you.